Welcome to Monday through Friday, Cellular Agriculture for a Pandemic-Free Future. My name is George Ortega, and this is episode number 22. We are recording this on Wednesday, August 5th at 9:24 p.m. Eastern Standard. And trying to figure out the theme of this show. I'm gonna go with some kind of it's gonna be pretend comedy, because I'm not a comedian. I mean, if I was a real comedian, it'd be real comedy. But remember Don Rickles? A lot of people may not know Don Rickles. Don Rickles is like a comedian in the 60s, may have been in the 50s also, that he would just insult people. You know, it's really funny. It really came across. So anyway, I'm just gonna rip into you guys for being so evil. I mean, how do you not get? I can't be funny about this. I'm sorry. I mean, you can't be funny about this. You know, how do you not get that? That when you buy your hamburgers and your chicken and your turkey and your hot dogs and your eggs, you're being complicit in something so evil. I mean, you're causing so much harm to so many animals. That's the reality. That's the reality. And if you believe in God, you know, if you believe in a higher power, then you should understand how wrong that is. And you should understand that what we're going through, this COVID-19, is probably our punishment, probably the results of what those of you who eat those products are doing. You know, I'm not going to include myself in that, because I've been a vegan for over 15 years, but there's very few of us in the United States, about maybe 1-2%. You know, I don't understand how you don't get this, though, you know. All right, it's either, I can only deliver this, you know, this part of it at least with a bit of humor. You know, it's either a matter of extreme stupidity or extreme evil, or both. Because let's say you're not all that stupid. Okay, let's say you get that you've seen the videos on TV, the commercials for these, you know, animal rights organizations, that they show you how the pigs and the chickens are treated in these factory farms. You know, let's assume that that you're not an idiot, that you've heard, you've seen, you're aware of what these factory farms are like. Okay, so if that's the case, if you're not so stupid that you don't understand, the only other option is that you're evil. You know, and you know, coming from somebody who believes in, you know, I gotta say this, because you know, I don't dislike people. I'm not saying this to purposely critique you, you know, just condemn you. So I mean, when I say you're evil, I don't blame you for it. I get it. You know, you're born into this country, into this world where everybody's doing the same thing, and then nobody is questioning it. You know, our leaders aren't questioning it, you know. So you figure, well, you know, yeah, I guess we're all evil, you know. But no, what I want to say is that it's not really your fault, okay? You are being extremely evil, and yes, you know, chances, you know, people get punished for that kind of stuff. You know, heart disease, cancer, you know, these illnesses that come from animal-derived foods. You know, a lot of people never connect the dots. I gotta close my window. So, So, all right, so you're not stupid, right? Um, but you know, um, maybe you are kind of stupid because maybe like, in other words, like to be that evil, to inflict so much harm on so many animals and just put it out of your mind, you know, it doesn't exist. You're in denial, you know, that's stupid. That's stupid. That's like an ostrich putting their head in the sand and pretending that whatever's happening is not happening. That's kind of like pretending that there is not a God, that there isn't justice, there isn't punishment. I keep trying to give this a positive spin. You know, yeah, let's do this. Let's summon up our conscience. You know, like a leap of conscience where we just like we did with slavery. We ended slavery, and we've done other wonderful things. We have, you know. So let's do this again. Let's end the farming of animals and the eating of animals. You know, luckily we can transition to cellular agriculture, clean meat. But even if we didn't, you know, like let's all go vegan. I mean, like that's the message that you should be hearing, I think. I don't know, maybe this world is so filled with so much pain for so many of you that you just don't care. You know, I'm reading an article earlier today where some woman was feeling guilty because her children are actually much happier during this time than they were before. And you know, the person she wrote the letter to, it's like a Dear Abby type thing, wrote back that, well, you know, like, you know, these kids finally have some time to be kids, to be people. And so maybe so many people are just caught up in this rat race, this, you know, get through school, to get into college, to get a job, to do this and then do that and do that and do that. Maybe you're stuck in this treadmill that's so painful that that you don't have the bandwidth to have that much compassion for these animals, have any compassion really. And that's unfortunate, you know, that's unfortunate. Because that, you know, I mean, something's has to explain it, right? I mean, like, how do you explain it? Are we all spoiled, or at least, you know, those of you who are eating meat and fish and dairy, have you become spoiled? You know, well, I'm going to include myself in it because I'm not sure I do enough to end this, you know, end this holocaust of animals that goes on every year, you know, decade after decade. I mean, how do you make sense of it? You're good people in some ways, right? You raise families, you go to work, you know, you work hard, right? You probably work too hard, you know? You care about things. You care. You're up on politics, regardless of what side you're on. You care about doing the right thing. You know, however you believe that right thing is. But I mean, there are some things that are very gray. You know, I mean, like, you know, immigration or how much wildlife we should protect. And you know, not invade for natural resources and stuff. I mean, like, there's somewhat of a gray area in that, but this is not like that. This is like, you know, those animals are suffering horribly every day, 70 billion of them every year. And how do you make sense of that? Well, actually, to give you a kind of, we'll go out on a limb here. I believe in God, okay? I believe in, the message of the Bible. I don't believe in this Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve and stuff. The world was created almost 6,000 years ago. But all right, so I was trying to explain how you could be so evil while being good people do too, right? I mean, like you are good in a lot of ways. You can't deny that. You shouldn't ignore that. But so how can this be? And like, all right, so now we're gonna get deep. Or I don't know. Maybe I need a little break from talking about the animals, or talk about it in a different way. When we think of God, most of us think that God is all good, and that would be great if God was all good. But that's unfortunately for us, God is not all good. And if you know your Bible, God Himself says this in Isaiah. He tells Isaiah, I create light, I create darkness, I create good, I create evil. Okay, and I mean, it makes perfect sense. And basically, I'm getting you off the hook. I'm going to get God off the hook after this too. But in other words, this is not your fault. Yes, you're completely evil in doing this, but it's actually God who's compelling you to do this. I mean, and maybe this is what you need to hear. Maybe you're in such denial because you can't face what you're doing because you're blaming yourself for it. That could be the reason. So so how can you be so good in some ways and so evil in others? Well, that's in a way that's what God is. God is the creator of this reality. Whether you want to start this reality, the Big Bang, the known universe, or whether you want to extend it eternally into the past, and then we're left with the prospect that there never was a beginning and God always was, which makes sense. But if you're the creator of this world, if you are this world, which is, I mean, let me think about it like before, in biblical terms, before there was a world, and for this world, we can say the Big Bang, okay, this known universe. There was just God. And so then think this through. I mean, this isn't really gone into so much in the Bible, at least, but if you are what exists before you create the world, then the only thing you can create the world from is you. I mean, think it through. So God was everything before God created the world. God is everything now. Now, think this through some more. If you're everything, you're everything. You're everywhere. There isn't a place you're not. How can you not be in control of everything? What else is there to be in control of anything? There's this idea that like, oh no, God gave us this free will. God gave us the ability to choose what we do and don't do, what we feel. Come on, if that were the case, why are so many people stressed out and depressed and angry, and sad? Because free will, doesn't that mean that, hey, we get to choose what we think, what we feel? It's up to us. No, it's all up to God, because God is everything. And yes, unfortunately, God is both good and evil. But fortunately for us, like here in the United States, throughout the world, I mean, the average level of happiness is about 70%, which isn't bad. Some people are very happy. The world today is so much better in so many ways than it has ever been. People are living longer, more healthy, better educated, with less violence, so many comforts, air conditioning, heating, electricity, you're watching this through a TV or on a screen. I mean, this is an amazing world in so many ways. And this is like, we did this, I mean, like, we human beings have created this world. Naturally, it's God working through us, if you get that. But so it's not that we don't and we haven't done so much good. Okay, but it seems to me that the way the world works is that, well, for example, slavery, that's I think the clearest example of this. Slavery was even allowed in biblical times in the Bible, sure, So, but we evolve, we become better, we understand that slavery is so horribly wrong, and we end it. We understood that the way we were treating women was so unfair, so wrong, denying them so many rights, and we're ending that. We're becoming better people in so many ways. And maybe that's what you need to hear to get you to then look at this problem with animals that that now becomes our problem. Because there is justice and because there is reward and punishment. Our treating those animals the way we have been is coming back to us. But look at the good that we've done, that our ancestors have done, that we're continuing to do. And maybe that'll give you the optimism, the strength to face what we're doing to these animals. It'd be great if you went vegan, all right? It'd be great if you just like, after watching the show, whether you have Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever your internet provider is, check out a few documentaries on how we treat animals in factory farms. Check out one. Even go to YouTube. Actually, you go to YouTube, type out "meet your meat." MEET, your MEAT. Okay, it's about a 12-minute documentary narrated by Alec Baldwin that you watch this and completely what goes on in those farms, So, do that for yourself, okay? Because if you think you're getting away with being complicit in the abuse and torture of those animals, you don't understand God. You don't understand the way this world works. We teach this to our kids, like, why are we good? Why do we require goodness? Because, like, if we're not good, we pay the consequences. That's why we punish kids. That's why we punish our children. It's the same for us. That's why God punishes us. So, but I keep trying to find, a positive way to present this, to inspire you to become better people, to understand, to face what you're doing, to realize, to connect the dots, to understand that this isn't the end of pandemics unless you change. If you continue to eat meat and fish and dairy and these factory farms continue to exist, I guarantee, don't listen to me, listen to the experts, listen to the epidemiologists. They all say it's never a matter of if we're going to have another pandemic. It's always a matter of when. Okay, so like, if that's the world you want to hand to your kids, because eventually, there is promise, promise in these vaccines, but it's extremely difficult. We'd have to have a universal vaccine for so many strains of virus, for influenza, which is extremely difficult. Influenza constantly mutates, and that's, maybe in 20 or 30 years, they will find an answer to that, a universal vaccine. But again, you'd have to have it for viruses, you'd have to have it for bacteria, and I've gone into this before, that 80% of the antibiotics we use on the planet, we use on these animals in these farms. And that's creating this antibiotic resistance that people, experts have claimed is a bigger threat to humanity than even climate change. And this is what our factory farms are threatening us with. It's not just viruses. I mean, what do you need to hear? What do you need to go through? I mean, like, you either hear it and understand it, or you learn from the experience of others, or you learn from your own experience, or you learn from punishment. I mean, like, do we really want to go through 3-4 years of this and come out of this and maybe in 5-10 years go into it again, maybe a lot worse? See, what this world needs is perhaps somebody delivering this message in a better way, in a way that inspires, summons up the goodness from you without, perhaps getting you too clearly in touch with your limitations. Your limitations apparently in understanding. An understanding, or, like, again, getting back to what we were talking about before, if you're doing this evil of buying these, animal food products and eating them, that's really stupid, because that's like presupposing that there isn't rewarding punishment, there isn't justice in the world. And yeah, fine, if you're 10% of the atheists who don't really understand reality. I'm sorry, you guys think you're smart, you really aren't. But if you're 80-90% of people who understand, I mean, you guys probably believe in God. I don't want to segue too much. If you understand that God exists, you understand that we get punished. So how are you not getting that? How are you not getting that you're going to pay a price for eating that meat and fish and dairy because it comes from animals? Yeah, we need some spokespeople for this. I've got my approach, okay? And maybe I've reached some people. Maybe some of you get this. Maybe some of you, God willing, will stop eating meat and fish and dairy, and maybe you'll even do more than that, try to encourage others to do the same. But yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of you, probably most of you, that I haven't reached. That, and I'm just like trying to figure out, what are you thinking? What are you not getting about this? You think you're, what? Yeah, I guess you're thinking that, well, like, people have been eating meat and fish and dairy for decades, for hundreds of years, and most people are fine. Think it through. Most people, 100 years ago, people like died when they were like 40 or 50 or 60. And today, again, people still die of these diseases, and again, a lot of people, like, things, it's like that book, why do good things happen? Why do bad things happen to good people? People don't connect the dots. In other words, like, you're bad to animals, okay? You're complicit in abusing and torturing animals, okay? And then something completely unrelated. I mean, this pandemic is very related to that. You could connect the dots that, this might be a kind of poetic justice, right? For this crime of abusing those animals. But, I don't think God works that way a lot of times. In other words, God will have you, and yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it is. It's God's compelling you. It's not like you're doing this for free will, but God will make you make you abuse these animals, and then God may not, punish you with this distancing or catching it or whatever. God may punish you in one of a million other ways. Taking something from you that you value, whether it's material or whatever it is. I mean, we're not giving you something you really want or need. There's so many ways that happens. So we're running out of time, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm going to keep trying. I mean, this is the 22nd episode. I figure by the 50th or 75th, I'll probably get this where I can not just pummel you with how horrible people you are, how just how really evil you are. Maybe I'll find a way to just inspire you, to just go to the theme of we can create such a wonderful world, a world with so much more kindness, so much more goodness. This could jumpstart it all. We all get together, we say, hey, we get it. We need to stop farming and eating animals. We all get this. And all of a sudden there's this leap of conscience, and all of a sudden people are wondering, what else can we do, to correct the wrongs that we've done? Let's end global poverty. Let's finally seriously challenge climate change. Let's do a lot of things that have been left undone because it feels so good to do what's good, because it feels so good to make the world better. Okay, that's the message you need to hear. And if I had a free will, I'd have been delivering it from day one. But you got to wait for God to compel me, to make me do it, to have me do it. All right, running out of time, 43 seconds. So watch this every Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. At White Plains Community Media, channel 76. If you get Optimum 45, this commercial, I might have got to do it, I guess. If you get Verizon, it's channel 45. Optimum 76, whatever. And it's on YouTube, okay? I'm very diligent about uploading these. All right, so I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully, God willing, and hopefully maybe I can strike that more positive tone, okay? Have a great night. Thanks.